to start on our backs in first pose, Shavasana. Let your legs reach out long in front of you. Let your arms rest by your sides with the palms facing up. Close the eyes. Right away, before you do anything, just sink. Sink down onto your mat. Let yourself be very heavy. Let yourself arrive. Just notice what's going on in your body this morning. Don't try to fix it, adjust it, just notice. And then start to bring your attention to your breath. Start to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, cultivating that oceanic or victorious breath, the Ujjayi pranayama. And keep working with this breath throughout class. It's a great way to build heat in the body. So as you inhale, feel the air rustle down the windpipe. And as you exhale, push the air up and out the back of the throat. Feel the breath on the back of your throat. So it's almost like you're trying to make noise, trying to sigh. And we not only do this to strengthen the lungs, strengthen the breath, but also when you are working into poses that are maybe new, maybe more challenging for you that day, that exhale, that deep, deep, deep inhale, and then deep exhale will allow you to sink a little deeper, push a little closer to your edge, whatever that edge is. Keeping that breath, you can set an intention for your practice today. The intention that I'll offer up is just to keep it light. So as we work into the hamstrings, the back side of the body, just try to find a lightness in every pose. You can use your core to hold yourself up. You can use your arms, but just wherever it is, look for that feeling of lightness. Gently bring one knee into the chest and then the other. You can blink the eyes open if you like. And scoop your tailbone up right away, then put your lower back down on the mat. Feel that lower back pressed into the mat. Just give your knees a quick squeeze. And then extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Try to straighten the legs. So if you want to use your hands on your thighs here, you can. If you have a strap, you can always, of course, throw that on top and pull down. But flex the feet, whether you're holding onto them or not. Try to point the feet down towards your face. If your legs split open a little bit, that's cool. And take a few deep breaths into the calves, into the hamstrings. All right, grab a hold of your right leg, lower your left leg down. 2 inches from the mat. Keep that lower back on the mat. If you have to lift up the heel a little bit on that left foot, so the lower back stays on the mat, do so. Now switch legs. Grab your left leg, lower your right. Flex the feet a lot. Keep them flexed. Keep them straight if you can. Switch legs. 3 deep breaths. Keep flexing that foot. Switch. 3 deep breaths. Last one on this side. And gently bring your right foot up to meet your left. Bend your knees. Bring them into your chest once more. Roll to the left and the right. Rolling out that lower back now. And we're going to come to forward fold. So put your hands underneath your knees here. And roll up and down the length of your spine. A few times, getting that back warmed up, massage it a little bit. And then when you can, just bring your feet down to the mat. And you're going to be in this little ball, and then you just place your hands on the mat, slowly straighten your legs. Walk the feet apart to about hips width distance. And then bend the knees a lot to start. If you need to measure out your hips width distance, it's 2 thumbs or 2 fists between your toes. Bend the knees a lot so that the chest is on top of the quads. Let that head hang super heavy. Take 3 breaths here. You should maybe already feel a little burn, a little spice in the back of those legs. On the inhale, half lift, straighten the legs. Crown of the head reaches forward. Hands press on top of the quads, the fronts of the legs, and then squeeze the elbows in by your side. Warm up the core here. Reach that tailbone back. Legs are pretty straight. They can have a tiny micro bend. Then exhale, forward fold all the way down. Plant the hands. Step the feet back. Just come straight to downward dog. Back to that upside down V shape that we do every day. So feet are hips width distance apart with toes pointing forward. Knees can be bent or you can work to straighten them. Take a peek forward at the hands. They're shoulders width distance apart. And then take a few deep breaths here. Keep lifting that tailbone up, reaching the hips up towards the ceiling. You can even come to your tippy toes and then drop the heels back down. Come to the tippy toes. Drop the heels back down. You're always welcome to make this down dog dynamic in any way that feels good. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, roll forward to a plank pose. Your feet and hands should be that plank pose distance from down dog. Shoulders over wrists, heels over the balls of the feet. Inhale to press away from the mat. Exhale, lower the knees. Keep the back straight. Lower the chest and the chin, booty in the air. Now your back is a little arched there, right? And then exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, baby cobra. Chest reaches through, tops of feet, press into the mat. Toes are untucked. Lift that chest, take a breath in. Exhale, lower the knees back down to the mat. Reach up those toes. Press up to that half push-up. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Next, exhale. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Toes point, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee to your nose. Hold it there. Inhale, pull the quad into your chest. And then exhale, gently step that right foot through. Lower the back knee down. And then just tent the fingertips. Try to get the right side of your chest, your belly, onto the top of the right leg. Just gentle, low lunge here. Using that right leg as support. Your chest is a little lifted, your fingers are tented. You're dropping that left hip down, but the right leg sort of prevents you from going down too far because your chest gets stuck on it, right? Take a breath in. Exhale to stay. Make sure that your knee is not past your ankle. So if it is, just walk the toes up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, half split. Walk the hands back a little bit. Start to straighten the right leg. Toes point up towards the ceiling on the right foot. Your hips reach towards the back of the mat. Press that right heel into the mat like you could pull it back towards you. You're almost like pulling that left knee forward, but it's not moving. You want the scissoring effect, but you also want to straighten that right leg, get into the back of the right side. Breathe deeply here, guys. Inhale, come forward back to that low lunge. Plant the hands, lift the back knee. Now, left heel is over the ball of the left foot. Left hand plants firmly into the mat. Inhale, right hand lifts, twist. If that left hip tucked under when you twisted, pull it back up in line with the right. That'll really get you twisting from the belly. Even if your twist has to come down a little, when you pull that hip back up, I want you to lock those legs in and just breathe and twist from the belly. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. Plant the hands, press into them as much as you can. Your back will be a little rounded. Step that right foot back to a plank. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Still chasing that light feeling, right? Inhale, left leg lifts. This is how we find the lightness. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Inhale, press into the mat a lot. Pull that leg up into your chest, light. Exhale, gently step that left foot through. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. And again, come up into the fingertips. but let that left body rest on the top of the left quad if you can get it there. So your leg is holding up the torso, and then feel that right hip opening up. Breathe deeply into it. Gently start to straighten that front leg, drop the hips towards the back, half split. You can walk your hands back a little. Hips reach back towards the back. Press that left heel into the mat. Pull the right knee forward, but it's not actually moving. Find that scissoring feeling between the legs. Inhale here. That left leg is straight or straightening. Left toes reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, crawl the hands forward, low lunge. Plant both hands to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the hip. Now, feel that right hip in line with the left, right? Inhale, the left arm reaches up. That right hip automatically pulls under, right? That's cool. Just pull it back up in line. Feel those hips lock in there. Feel yourself twisting from the belly. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Gently bring that left hand down. Now let's find that light feeling again. Spread the fingers really wide. Frame the foot. Inhale, press away from the mat. Feel that left heel lift. Step the left heel back to a plank. Left foot back. Plank pose here. Everybody, shoulders over wrists. Heels over the balls of the feet. Lift those hips slightly. Feel the lift. Exhale, half push up down. Chaturanga. Squeeze the elbows in by your side. And then upward facing dog. Tops of the feet to the mat. Chest reaches through. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, lift the hips up. Downward facing dog. Untuck those toes or roll over the toes. The whole rolling over the toes thing took me a while, so if that sounds weird, just keep practicing it as you move from up dog to down dog. Eventually one day it starts to feel like really good for some people. For me, some days I can't do it. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, the right leg lifts, toes point. Exhale, knee to nose and hold, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, pull the quad up into your chest. Exhale, gently step that right foot through. All right, now pay attention. Keeping the hands down, we're just gonna step that left leg up like 6 inches so that we get to pyramid pose. So your feet are sort of medium width apart, toes point forward. Legs are on train tracks, not a tightrope. If you have blocks here, you can always use them, of course. For now, fingertips are tented on the mat. I want you to find this scissoring motion first, and then we're gonna fold. So pull that right foot back. The foot doesn't move, but you can feel like when you're pulling it back, the heel kind of rolls back on the mat a little bit, and then you're pulling that left leg forward. I want that engagement in the back of the right leg. Then once you have that, you can also press the mat away, right? So press the right foot forward and pull the left foot back, and then start to forward fold in that. Bringing the nose towards the knee. Now, trick to the breath. With every inhale, reach the crown of the head forward towards the front of the mat. With every exhale, you'll find, or you may find, you can bring the nose a little closer to the knee. Always working on finding length, finding depth, finding that strength, putting them all together. Let this feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, let it feel like it's at least doing something for you. All right, here we go. Inhale, bring the left fingertips down to the mat or a block. Keep the legs. Inhale, the right hand lifts. Revolved triangle. Those legs stay the same. They're straight. You're feeling this in the back of the legs right now, hopefully. If not, reach that right foot forward without it moving. Pull that left foot back. One more breath in this revolved triangle. Exhale, gently bring the right hand down to the mat. Slowly start to bend the front knee. That left foot steps back a little bit. Get back into that low lunge. And then let's practice finding that lightness. Press the hands into the mat until the heel of the right foot lifts up, and then step the right foot back to meet the left, plank pose. Inhale to press away. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips, flip over those toes, downward facing dog. So simple in terms of number of poses we do, right? Really finding those little things in the pose that make it more work. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose and hold, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, step that left foot through between the hands. Come to the fingertips, and then again, we're gonna step that right foot forward 6 inches or so and get the heel on the mat. Toes point forward, knees point forward, feet are on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope. Now, find that engagement. So remember that feeling of pulling the left heel back and the right heel forward? Now, push the left toes forward and the right heel back. Then we start to fold. With every inhale, the crown of the head reaches forward. Maybe you find a little lift. With every exhale, you bring the nose a little closer to the knee. Breathe into the back side of the body. Nice work, guys. All right. Inhale, that right hand comes to the mat or to a block or to your fingertips. The left hand lifts, revolved triangle. Left shoulder stacked over right. Keeping the legs, this will put a little more, you feel a little more torque there on that back leg, right? You feel it working. Inhale here. Keep trying to pull that left shoulder back. Twist from the belly. Exhale to stay. One more breath here, guys. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. Frame that left foot. Start to bend the knee. Step the right foot back. Low lunge. And then again, we find that lift. Inhale, press into the mat. Lift the left heel. Step it back to meet the right in plank. Exhale to stay. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Exhale through the mouth. Let some of that heat out. And then inhale, come to the tippy toes. Exhale, gently bring the knees down to the mat. Child's pose, please. Bring the forehead to the mat. The hips towards your heels. Let the hands rest down on the mat, either by your side or reaching out in front of you. And then come back to that sinking feeling at the beginning of class, but not a bad kind of sinking feeling. One where you're like, wow, just did a lot of work. Let me be heavy for a minute. Come back to the breath. Keep that inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. But as you focus on that sound, that rustling-like sound you're trying to create with the breath, also think about breathing into the backside of your body, the posterior chain of your body. Gently lift the forehead off of the mat. We're going to come into a forearm plank. So 2 options. You can either interlace your fingers and have sort of like a little triangle between your 2 elbows and your fist. Or if you don't like that feeling, you can, or you don't want that feeling, you can press your hands down into the mat, shoulders width distance, and just do a forearm plank that way. Yogi's choice. When you're ready, forearm plank, step the legs back, drop the hips, shoulders over elbows. Drop the hips in line with the shoulders or lower. Roll forward so that the heels are getting over the balls of the feet. If your hands are spread wide, if your hands are pressing into the mat, spread the fingers as wide as you can. Try to broaden across the collarbones. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Everybody lift the hips. Start to tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe forward. Just into a little dolphin. You don't have to push here. So you're just coming a little bit closer with the feet to the elbows than you would in a down dog. You'll start to feel your shoulders broaden. You'll work into the back. You'll feel this in the arms, right? Keep broadening across the back of the body. Lift the hips, come into the tiptoes. Nice big stretch here in the shoulders. This is too much. Just drop down the knees to the mat. Beautiful. Everybody gently lower the knees to the mat. Bring the hips back, roll up. Nice, a little bit of work in the shoulders there, right? Shake the hands out. And then gently swing the legs out in front of you. We've got a boat pose. So walk the heels in towards your bum, hands around the shins. We always start here. Find the lift in the lower back, like you could pull your chest forward. Boobies on your knees if you can do it. Just kidding, that's really hard. But that's the direction we're going. That's how much lift I want in this chest. When you're ready, lift the heels. Option to reach the hands forward, palms up. Option to bring the toes together, lift the feet into a tabletop. If you feel yourself rounding into the back, remember that feeling. Nipples to knees, lift the chest. Squeeze everything towards center. Option to straighten the legs if you like. Squeeze them together. If you're shaking, keep breathing. You're doing the work. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Hold and lift. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. One more. Biggest breath yet. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Hands come behind your knees. Gently bring the feet down to the ground. You can go ahead and lower yourself all the way down. Awesome. Legs reach up towards the ceiling once again. Get a little lymphatic drainage going here, yeah? Flex the feet towards the ceiling. Straighten the legs. You can gently press your hands on your quads to push them away. And then try to bring the feet over the hips. Try not to let your lower back lift off the mat, but instead feet directly over hips. And then we're just going to play around with really slowly moving these legs into leg lifts. We're going to do 5 really slow ones. So hands either behind your head with the elbows pressing into the mat, or hands by your sides with the palms facing down. Wherever you are, get that lower back on the mat. Here we go. We're slowly going to flex the feet and lower down. As you slowly lower, you feel the abs engage. Don't let that lower back lift off the mat. Get to 45 degrees and stop, and then slowly come back up. When the heels are over the hips, stop. Slowly start to lower. Exhale down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. 3, 2, 1. Legs go down. 3, 2, 1. Stopping at that 45 degrees. Inhale up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale up. 3, 2. Last one. Down. 3, 2, 1. And then just bend the knees, bring them into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Roll to the left and the right there. Nice. And then gently drop the feet down to the mat. We've got a bridge. We've got a supine twist. Then we're going home. Bring the hands by your sides, palms facing down, thumbs under bum. Walk the shoulder blades together under the back. Feet are hips width distance apart. Inhale, lift those hips up. Squeeze the glutes. Press into the feet a lot. There should be a little space between your neck and the mat. The back of your head is on the mat. Your shoulders are on the mat. You're squeezing your glutes together and lifting, but then also pressing into the feet, pushing your chest a little closer towards the chin. Inhale to lift. Exhale to stay. Inhale, squeeze. Press into the feet a lot. Stay. Last one. Lift. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Nice. Beautiful work. Extend the left leg out long in front of you. Bring the right knee into the chest. Arms out to a cactus or a T. Now we're going to have 2 options here. We'll have hamstring light and hamstring heavy. So bump that left hip to the middle of the mat, and then the right knee comes over to the left. Stay here and do this bent right leg supine twist, or straighten that right leg. Flex the foot. Breathe into that right hamstring. Left toes are pointed. Right foot is flexed. Feel that right hamstring. And then if you can, look to the right. Deep breaths here. Last breath. Inhale. If that right leg is straight, gently start to bend it and then pull it into the chest and roll back to center. Get the hips back to the center. Right leg reaches out. Left leg comes in. And then I always like to place my left leg down on the ground, bump my right hip to the center of the mat, and then bend the left leg and reach it over. And then, of course, you can straighten that left leg and flex the feet. If you're getting into the hammies, right toes point, left toes flex. Gaze is to the left. Breathe into this twist. 5 breaths. Count them on your own. Gently bend that left knee. If it's straight, pull it back in. Bump the hips back to the center. Bring both knees into the chest. Lift your forehead. Try to touch your knees with your forehead. Squeeze yourself into the tightest ball yet. Give yourself a big hug. And then exhale. Lower everything down to the mat for final Shavasana. Let the breath go. Let body start to breathe itself. Unclench the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your eyelids be heavy. Let there be no movie playing on the back of your eyelids. Just imagine you completely painted them white on the inside. And stay in this Shavasana for as long as you like. You're ready to be walked out. Gently bring one knee into the chest and then the other. Keep the eyes closed. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Big morning stretch. Exhale, roll to a fetal position on either side, resting your ear on your bicep like a little pillow. And then gently press your hands into the mat. Come on up to a seat. Any seat will do. Legs crossed, uncrossed, doesn't matter. Easy pose, Sukhasana. Just get those sits bones onto the mat. Palms can face up or down on the tops of the knees. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Let them drop down the back. Shoulders away from the ears. We take 3 breaths together to end the class. Exhale all of your air out. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Sip a little more. Through the nose, slowly exhale. Inhale through the nose. Sip a little more at the top. Hold it. Open the mouth. H-A.
Ha.
Blink the eyes open. Inhale. Reach those arms up overhead. Press palms. Exhale. Hands come down to your heart. Namaste, guys. Thank you for joining.